Hey.
To the ladies in the sector, shake that ass, 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 shake that ass. To them ladies in the sector, shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass, and just shake it real fast. Bitch ass nigga named Alan Logic. Yeah,
what?
LGBT in the closet. Yeah,
come on,
motherfucker. Yeah, we say it to your face. Motherfucker can't even keep a care of me. Woo. Bitch ass nigga named Alan Logic. Yeah, we know you LGBT in the closet. Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, we say it to your face. Motherfucker can't even keep a care of me. Woo. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Chat, sing with me. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA.
Hey.
Fuck the DBA. Dumb bitch asses. Fuck the DBA. To the ladies in the sector, shake that ass, 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 shake that ass. To them ladies in the sector, shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass, and just shake it real fast. Pissy ass nigga named KIP. Crying ass nigga named motherfucking P. You see him on the panel, yeah, they talking about me. Yeah, you see him in the sector, yeah, they talking about D. Pussy ass nigga, silly ass nigga, old ass, worn out, dumb ass nigga. You see him all around in the motherfucking sector. They mad that they can't be the Godfather. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Chat, sing with me. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Dumb bitch asses. Fuck the DBA.
Come on, come on. What's up, Umar Johson sector? This is D the Real, the motherfucking Godfather. Let's do it one more time.
Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Chat, sing with me. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA.
Hey, hey.
Bitch asses. Fuck the DBA. To the ladies
with
in
me,
the sector, shake that ass, 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 shake that ass. To them ladies in the sector, shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass, and just shake it real fast. Bitch ass nigga named Alan Logic. Yeah, we know you LGBT in the closet. Yeah, motherfucker, yeah, we say it to your face. Motherfucker can't even keep a care of me. Woo. Bitch ass nigga named Alan Logic. Yeah, we know you LGBT in the closet. Yeah, motherfucker, yeah, we say it to your face. Motherfucker can't even keep a care of me. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Chat, with me. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Dumb bitch asses. Fuck the DBA. To the ladies in the sector, shake that ass, 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 shake that ass. To the ladies in the sector, shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass, and just shake it real fast. Pissy ass nigga named KIP. Crying ass nigga named motherfucking P. You see him on the panel, yeah, they talking about me. Yeah, you see him in the sector, yeah, they talking about D. pussy ass
What?
nigga, silly ass nigga, old ass worn out dumb ass nigga. You see them all around in the motherfucking sector. They mad that they can't be the Godfather.
Come on, ladies.
Chat, sing with me. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Dumb bitch asses. Fuck the DBA.
Fuck the DBA. What's up? Welcome everybody. This is D Darrell, broadcasting by D Darrell the Rebirth, and also broadcasting to the Umar Johson sector, also in the black sector. YouTube. What's up, everybody? We're gonna have a nice one today. I wanted to do a little introduction to my new banger, Fuck the DBA, which is something I just released about 10 hours ago, early this morning on New Year's. Happy New Year's to each and every one of you. I appreciate you all for coming in and spending this time with me today. We're going to have a nice little gathering, little interaction today. We're going to talk about two things. Reviewing my song. I hope you all like it. It's something that the ladies can dance to, shake it, do whatever, move around. It's something for the brothers to move to and everything. I'm talking about the DBA. What's up, Miss Queen? Yes, the DBA is a group of Negroes in the Umar Johson sector. It stands for dumb bitch asses. And it's a Negro by the name of Alan Logic who likes to massage women in an erotic and unorthodox and unethical manner. And so these Negroes, for some reason, these are some old 50-plus-year-old Negroes. Shout out to Ray Triggs. 50-plus-year-old Negroes that are mad at I don't know what. I don't know why they mad at me. Now, all of them used to be my fans back in the day when I used to do content back in 19 and 20. Most of them, they were my friend. They were my fans. They were fanboys, part of the conscious clientele. Then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. They cling on the little young boys that's in their mid to late 20s, and they tricking on them big time in the Umar Johson sector. And they paying them to come at and beef with me. So that's pretty much the story with that, Miss Queen. And so this weekend, they jumped on panels. They spoke about me for no reason. Really no reason to be speaking on Coach D. Darrell Spears. But for some reason, Queen, they constantly want to bring up my name. They stating that I was colorist towards black women. They claim I did this and D. Darrell did this. And I'm just tired of these Negroes saying my name. When I was out the sector for almost 2 months, Miss Queen, they kept talking about me. Like I would check a channel and D. Darrell said this. Next 3 or 4 hours later, I check a channel. D. Darrell said that. The next day, D. Darrell did this and D. Darrell said that. And so one night, my brother named Propane did a live stream at night, and he wanted people to come up and mix it up, and he wanted them to freestyle, and he wanted them to rap, sing, do whatever talent. So I got up there and I just straight up said, I started singing, fuck the DBA, fuck the DBA. What's up, Verla? How you doing, man? She said, tell them to pay me and you and Scrape, and my channel can grow. What's up, Rob? What's up, Rob B? She said, you love me and my brand. You damn right I do, with your cute ass. Yes, I do. You right. D. Darrell is not colorist at all. I don't know what the fuck they talking about. I done made songs and got dragged in the manosphere for saying that dark-skinned women were beautiful. Them niggas got mad at me for singing positive about Rashida Strober. Them niggas got mad at me for saying the fact that I put Rashida's name in the song. Them Negroes got mad and they was playing the song and trying to fucking roast me for at least 2-3 weeks. They got niggas still mad about that. I was all on everybody's channel. They took the video. Niggas was killing me for having an Escalade that they can't afford. Can you believe it? Niggas was killing me for having a vehicle they could not afford on the video. Shout out to Conscious Energy. Shout out to My Opinion. Who else up in the house? Conundrum, what's up, brother? Ray Triggs in the house. My brother Slender God. Hey, man, anybody in the sector, if you want to use the song, you free. Ray Triggs, I know you probably got some ideas. Slender God, you can use it. Whoever want to use the song, y'all can use the song to your whatever you like to. It's up to you. The song is for the sector. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about that, and I want to say this, man. Again, happy New Year to each and every one of you. I'm not gonna be on too long today. I plan to be on for about an hour and a half at the most. Got a lot of stuff I got to do to prepare for next week, so I'm not gonna try to be on too long. Last night I was sipping on a little amaretto and some Coke. Had me some gin and fucking juice. Yeah, nigga, I know I like them old school drinks. I had me a little gin. I had a little gin and Sprite. I had some vodka and Sprite. I had a lot of shit that I was drinking, man. I was good, man. I ended up going to bed around 2 something. Woke up feeling funny, man. Woke up feeling a little funny and stuff like that. And so I said, you know what I'm gonna do, man? I'm going to do one live stream today. I'm gonna do one live stream and I'm gonna touch on different things, and then I'm gonna call it a day. Now, for those in the black sector, in the manosphere sector, me and Amiri Brown are real cool. You know that me and BMT is real cool. A lot of ladies in the sector, y'all know D Darrell is always cool with the ladies, friendly with the ladies. I'm not about fussing and arguing with women, particularly arguing about women I couldn't get when I was in high school or that I couldn't get in college. I'm not about that. Even in this song, I said to the ladies, shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass. Yeah, ladies, enjoy yourself. This is the new you. I'm gonna say this, man. Life is too short for you to come on YouTube. For you to be on YouTube, shout out to R&T Entertainment, DJ Drama, for you to be arguing back and forth with ignorant ass Negroes who don't know no better, that never will know any better. These niggas get on these panels and they say the same shit. Oh, I don't see how Amiri do it with BGS Ipmore, even in the Umar sector, man. I'm gonna say this. I don't see how some people do it, man. I can't do it no more, man. Like, I noticed when I was shout out to my girl Josephine, chat activist. Went over there, man. The Alan Logic, the nigga that I'm making this song about. Soon as he was asked the question, appreciate that. My opinion. Soon as he got up, the first name he bring up, well, D Darrell said this, and D Darrell said that, and D Darrell said this, and D Darrell said that. But then I come up, right? And I'm like, Negro, what you talking about? Then you want to get mad and upset. Then I'm gonna say this. Look, man, I am pro-black. And I've said I've been pro-black in every sector that I've been in. Listen, each and every one of you have the right to date and be with whoever you want to. That's your business. I'm not gonna judge you. I'm just not a person that's an advocate of interracial relationships as being pro-black and pan-African. Just because I don't advocate for something, don't necessarily mean I'm going to demonize you for doing it. Now, the people that I tend to demonize are those that think, oh, this other race of women, they better than black women. This other group, just see passport brothers. For those who are passport brothers, and there's been a lot of rhetoric, a lot of attention given to passport brothers over last year in 2022. These Negroes is what I'm talking about. Negroes that think that they can go across seas and fake balling, fake like you got it like that to low-grade foreign women. And then you want to come here and tell black men this is the way to go. You spending $2,000-$3,000 to go get some ass from a woman that live in Thailand and Tibet and Southeast Asia and play that shit don't even make no sense. Colombia and Brazil and all these places. No, I'm sorry. And you want to get mad that other people have an opinion about it. And I want you to understand a lot of that, particularly with a lot of these guys, a lot of their disgruntledness is a function of colorism. Because a lot of these guys are not getting black women. They're actually dating lighter skin, exotic looking, mixed looking black women or women of other races. So this shit ties in together. What's up, Black Einstein Production? This is just a fact. These niggas, this is what they choosing on. They choosing on these type of women. And that's just a fact. This is the type of women that they choosing on. So my brother Amiri, shout out to my brother Amiri. I want to review the fact that, there's a lot of disgruntled. One reason, man, this is, I'm going to say this. I have never been married or just tied down to one sector. I left the Umar sector in 2020, early 2020, and I was strictly doing manosphere stuff. And I was I was on panels all the time, man. I was doing all kinds of shit. I had time because it was COVID and I was staying home every day. I opened up a group home. So I had time. I had time all day, every day. So in having that time, I was doing content on relationships, doing stuff on SYSBM. I was doing stuff on the Passport Brothers. I was doing stuff on people like BGS and people in the red pill community, certain people. I had a lot of people coming to my channel. They had a lot of people from 3.0 that was just coming off. I was beefing with all kinds of people in the manosphere area. I was all over the goddamn place. Yeah, I'm actually streaming from D Darrell the Rebirth, and I'm streaming from D Darrell Spears Sector TV. I can see drama. I seen drama content. Drama actually. I saw some of his work. Drama had stuff up right here. I can see what he writes. So basically, man, I was into that big time. Man, I was on panels. I was debating, I was making money. I was making other channels money. XT Pot, I was over there in the debate league. I was making money. I was making good money. I was going live 3-4 times a week, twice on weekends, twice a day on weekends. I was doing all kind of I was doing a lot of I was punching out a lot of content. When I'm talking about a lot of content, I was punching out a lot of content. Then I bring my ass back to the Umar Johson sector. And to this day, man, I wondered, was that really a good decision for me? Because went back to the Umar Johson sector like that August to talk about Umar, about my little promise about not donating, not publicly supporting him. Go back to the sector in September. Next thing you know, the AFWs take my channel down in October, the day after my birthday, October 22nd, 2020. Lost damn near 4,500 subscribers. Went down the fucking drain. And the channel was lit. And in that year, I started out in that year with about 800, somewhere around 8 to 900 subscribers. I became monetized in February. Before my channel got shut, I gained about over 3,200 subscribers that year. I was on it. And if I would have kept that channel, I probably have about somewhere around 10, 12,000 right now. If I would have kept that channel, I would have had almost 10,000 plus subscribers, real subscribers that were paying, that was contributing. Everything was focused to that one channel. But you know, hey, man, that's right, man. That's why I say, man, 2020 was a beat. 2020 was a bitch. And that's just the facts, man. So it is what it is, man. You're right, man. 2020 was a B, man. It really was. And then when I got in the sector, I was doing great with the channel, even though it wasn't monetized. I had to switch it over to the music channel and all this other shit I had to do. And things just progressed the way they progressed. So what I want to do now, man, I want to talk about and I'm going to screen share this because I want y'all to hear this, man, because I have debated this Negro BGS in many situations. Shout out to Amiri Brown for doing his content early today. Because what Amiri proved is that these Negroes cannot stand up to real debate. But also, I want to talk about the women in the black space because you cannot criticize the manosphere if you're going to turn around and do the same shit that the manosphere is doing. You know, that don't make any sense for you to say that these guys are misogynistic and you be misandrous. Say that these guys are disrespectful and then you're also equally disrespectful. You can't say that these guys hate black women, but then you turn around and say shit that claim that you hate black men. Like, this gender war shit needs to be ended. This shit is not real. Black men and black women are not walking around hating each other and not being with each other and holding each other. Yes, there are a lot of relationship issues that permeate throughout the black community. But as a whole, black women and black men are not at fucking war over shit. Every year we got millions and millions of fucking babies being born. We got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people getting married. I'm sorry. No, it just don't, man. And one of the things that put me off and that I decided to go back to the Umar Johson sector is that, and Queen say Amiri be having those crazy, yeah, man, a lot. And I get it, man. They support him. But I feel like, man, the brother is doing great work on his show. And we don't need anybody from any sector, whether it's women or men, fucking up this dude channel with these extremist ass views, whether it's guys from the manosphere or it's guys from the divestment community. A lot of these women are from the divestment community talking all this shit, and they need to go sit their ass down. They sound stupid, and they sound no different than the men that they criticize. When you start saying shit like, I'm here to promote the black female race. What the fuck is the black female race? There would be no black female if there's no black male to make the black female. There would be no black male if there's not a black. Then they're saying, I come from a black woman. I love black women. I came from a black woman too. We all came from black women. The fuck? Every full black ADOS, every full black African person came from an African mother. We come from the same womb of the same woman. We are not distinctive outside of our sex. You got the same texture hair I got the same dark brown skin I got. You got the same nose, eyes, type of lips, facial features, just more feminine. We're susceptible to the same type of diseases, hereditary from a hereditary standpoint. We're susceptible to the same racism. We're susceptible to the same treatment, no matter where we're at. The TMK Media said, I think it's a matter of perspective. People in healthy relationships don't see a problem. People, I won't say that, because even people in a healthy relationship, they may not relate to some of the trauma and the ongoing issues of some of these people because they don't feel, never had those experiences. But I mean, I guess in my field of work, I'm more observant because I see the trauma that Black women go through in relationships. And I also see the trauma that Black men may go through in relationships. I see the issues of colorism. I see the issues of infidelity. I see the issues of lying, drugs. I see the issues, all these things that I talk about on my Coach D. Durrell Spears dating channel. I'm talking about monogamy. I'm talking about truthfulness. I'm talking about reciprocity. I'm talking about loyalty. I'm talking about teamwork, collaboration, team building. I'm talking about being a great listener. And when you hear the women and the men who have this gender leaning perspective on every goddamn thing in life, a lot of them are lacking in these areas. That's the reason why their relationships fail. It has nothing to do with matriarchy or patriarchal influences. TMK say thank you for clearing that up. Listen, brother, I'm just speaking. But I want you all to hear this. I want you to hear Amiri. And I know in the Umar sector, man, and I'm gonna say this, and I think TMK Media, you have inspired me. I want to say T Pre has inspired me. Carrie Ann has inspired me. Believe it or not, they haven't inspired me that it's time for me to go back to doing the content that I used to do in 19 and 20. I'm going to start doing trending topics. I'm going to talk more about relationships. I'm going to talk more about education, finances. I got to get back to doing real content that made me pop on YouTube. Stefan Gattano say, what are your thoughts on Carrie Ann's eviction from the DBA? I didn't know she was evicted from the DBA. So if Carrie Ann, hey, baby, you could play my song and say, fuck the DBA. But I'm going to say this. People, let me see your transcript. I'm inspired. See, there's been women and men in the sector. My brother BMT, Amiri Brown, Mahogany Roots, and MJ. Queen, Miss Queen, Sunkiss. Shit, she is, man. I got to get back to doing the content that made me pop. I got to get back to that. I got to get back to doing content more consistently. And it don't take, like I know I did. It don't have to be live streams. It could be uploads. I got to get back to doing content that made me pop. And whatever, and I'm gonna play my content from both channels. I'm gonna stream it on both channels. It's gonna be related to both sectors, and people can like it or dislike it. It doesn't really matter. If you like my content, you like my content. If you don't like my content, you don't like my content. What's up, Chaos? Chaos Rain is another person that inspired me. I gotta start back doing the real content that I like. I'm gonna say it is very difficult. It is very difficult for me, man, because I have a very busy schedule. I have businesses operating in 3 cities, and I'm just opening up a dollar store. Shout out to Family Hood Mafia. I want to let Corey know, yeah, I don't necessarily fuck with you like that, but I do listen to your shit from the clouds, and I do appreciate you for talking about the fact that, yeah, I know me and D. Durrell ain't cool, but damn, I could learn some shit from D. Durrell. Shit, Corey, I could learn some shit from you too. We can all learn from each other. We can network with each other. I was watching a channel. Believe it or not, the name of the channel was The Good Pussy. Check out this chick, man. The name of the chick channel was The Good Pussy. The Good Pussy channel, they were networking so that they can start business. And the lady um, of the channel had a person up there, gave her email out, and well, you had to cash app her, but she was basically trying to gather people together on YouTube so that we can look at business opportunities. Shut out the germ on the board. What's up, player? And to me, that's the shit we need to start doing, man. Check out the good. You can type it out. I kid you not. The name of the channel is The Good Pussy. And I was like, "Who the fuck is this?" But then I started listening to her, and she was making a lot of sense. I thought this was like some kind of sex channel or some shit. She was talking some real shit, and I was like, "Damn, okay, I can fuck with her. I subscribe." You know, I play around in the chat, but check her out. So I'm gonna go ahead and play what Amiri talked about. I'm gonna put it up here, man. I want y'all to see this and let me know how the sound is, man. The quality of the sound. Let me know if y'all can hear.
Put your penis in their mouth. You stay wanting to lay up with them and have sex with them, so they can't be too bad, now can they?
Press 1 if you can hear pretty good. Let me know if you can hear. Please let me know if you can hear.
They can't be too bad, now can they? See, this is all a power play. It's all about power. Because they feel deprived, because they can't exercise preeminence and dominance over women, over black women. But as if somehow that's black women's fault, though.
Great.
They make jobs available for black women. So if a black woman goes and get the job, goes and take advantage of this opportunity and get the job, she in competition with her man.
Let me stop there. When he talked about in competition, black women, and I'm glad for everybody that can hear. I want to say this: black women are not in direct competition with black men. We are all competing as a group of people against other groups of people. Yes, there are certain laws and certain benefits that have been afforded to black women, and there are also things that have been afforded to black men too. Some of those same benefits if we qualify. But we are not in competition, because I guarantee you 99% of those black women that get those benefits, they sharing that shit with a black man. Black women as a whole are the second to least likely of any group, and they're second to white men as the least likely to marry or date outside their race in a percentage. So you can miss me with the competition, because even though these women that are getting these things, just like the money that Goldman Sachs has given for black women to the advancement of black women, I guarantee you 95% of those black women, 90 to 95 of those have black children with black men, and they are sharing and building with these black men. So miss me with competition.
You're supposed to fall back and let you take the job and let you get the job. This is how they really feel. When the opportunities are just out there. The opportunities are out there. And as I said, none of these changes that's taking place in the social, economic, and political order in modern westernized societies are women in control of, least of all black women.
Facts.
Least of all black women. So this is why I give them the pushback I give them, because even though it's not women in control of these changes, they want to take it out on women.
It's white men.
They want to take it out on women. When I was having a debate with that guy, Big Truck, on Chaos Channel, This dude, this clown really said they're getting themselves pregnant. Since when do
This is, and believe it or not, from the other sectors that are watching, you got niggas in here saying that dumbass shit. Shut out the T-Pre. You got niggas in here in these sectors straight up saying that black women are getting themselves pregnant as if they are a fucking asexual being, like a fucking plant that can basically reproduce with itself. This is some of the most asinine shit that I've ever heard of. This is why sometimes I have to take a break from this shit.
women get themselves pregnant? Since when do women get themselves pregnant? See, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. See, because they still want to lay up with these women, and because unprotected sex is the most pleasurable type of sex, they don't be wanting to use no fucking condoms and protection and shit. They got so many forms of contraceptives.
But they don't want to use them, just like Minister Jap saying that dumbass shit about all these different contraceptives that women should be using. But this nigga running around fucking Nala and shit. Nala and Taz, while she with Taz. And don't sit there and tell me you was protecting yourself every goddamn time, because nigga, you're lying.
They reproductive abuse. They lie and tell the men they taking this and they taking that. Okay, all that's fine and good, but why aren't you taking your own reproductive destiny in your own hands? Why? So we're gonna deal with this thing with pathology. I'm waiting for him to come up. Come on, hit the link. Because you're gonna get this work. Because you're just gonna end up with what you started with, is nothing but work. Because what I'm saying is correct. The way I'm analyzing it is correct. The way I'm breaking it down is correct. The ones who are misrepresenting and then straight out lying are these fellas here, because they see.
Now, what we're about to hear, I'm about to continue to go further. And Mr. BGS Ipmore, one of the founding fathers of Red Pill, the father of Ipmore, the father of fucking whatever you want to call it, and one of the progenitors of the manosphere, per se, an old school Negro, damn near 70 years old, spend all of his time online talking shit. And I'm surprised he's still living, because the way things are going now, all these red pill niggas are dying early.
Educated and didn't have any kind of opportunities. What he said was, if you don't correct these people, that's like, I mean, created the Harry U project, right? To actually correct these people, educate these people, give these people opportunities and jobs. Well, that shit was actually going to spread, right? Okay. It basically, I was just reading a paper. I did a paper on the black marriage patterns, right?
What paper you wrote?
Okay. When did black divorce go up? 1960. 1960. Okay. When did white divorce start going up? 1970. Why? Basically, why did white divorce go up? It's called what?
I don't know why. Why did it go up?
No fault divorce, right?
Let me stop there. You see, this is one of the things that pisses me off about people that don't understand sociology and psychology. They don't understand the dynamics of relationships. The reason why there are tons of dynamics that contributed to why black men and black women, that was an increase in the divorce. One of the reasons that was an increase is because at that time we were married at a higher rate than most other people. We were married at nearly 80% or more, over 80% at that time. So if you're number one in the nation, although we were the poorest people at the time, the largest minority group, when the 60s came about, we were getting divorces. It's because a lot of those marriages that people were staying in were not functional marriages. And the women, as black women start to gain more access to education and access to other jobs, they decided to get out of those toxic ass relationships. and men too who were in toxic relationships. It had nothing to do with feminism and other things. A lot of women stayed married in miserable relationships. There are a lot of shotgun marriages. One of the reasons that people began to start getting divorces because they were married to people that they were forced to be married to. They were forced, women, men and women were forced to be married to people that they impregnated or whatever else, not that they wanted to be with them. So there's all types of dynamics that contribute to the ongoing decrease or a regression in those marriage rates. See, you have to look at all components of why people get divorced and not just say it's strictly feminism. No, it wasn't. Even though, yes, women want the right to choose, everybody should have a right to fucking choose. That's a God-given right. So all of a sudden, you want to basically fight to the majority population and say you want rights. And at the time, we were able to vote before white women. But then you want to turn around and not afford your wife or your counterpart the ability to do the same. I have to disagree with you, Carrie Ann, on that. That is not what feminism means. Feminism is not the fact that you should pursue a career and have the freedom to leave a marriage, but the fact that you have the ability to make choices. Having leaving a marriage doesn't necessarily mean that's the best choice, but that you have the ability to make a choice. Those are actually two different things. And sometimes leaving, what I'm saying is that as it relates to you leaving a dysfunctional, toxic, abusive, negative relationship, I don't think any person, man or woman, should leave a functional marriage to pursue a relationship. When I look at feminism, when you look at first wave feminism, we're looking at the fact that these women in the women's suffrage movement were looking at the fact that they could not own property. They couldn't have a bank account in their name. You know, if they inherited property, it went to their husbands. They were fighting for more independence without the reliability of a man. That's from my perspective in reading. That's what the women's suffrage movement. It wasn't necessarily linked to a marital relationship situation because you have the choice not to get married. But that's just me. But let me continue.
Why did black divorce go up? It's called welfare. Black women didn't get welfare till 1961. Federal welfare to 1961. Why did the rates all of a sudden start shooting up?
The rates of what?
The rates of divorce, the rates of single parenthood, okay, the welfare rolls, all that kind of stuff. Why did it start shooting up in 1961? Why did it start
So
shooting up?
yeah, so hold on. See, because you're trying to
I ain't trying to do
do it.
shit.
You're
I
trying
ain't
to
trying.
do it. You're trying to do a
I ain't
whole
trying
bunch
to do
of
shit.
dumping. But we're gonna see because
I ain't
what we're
trying to
gonna
do.
do. This is why I wanted to do it on my channel, BGS. What we're gonna do, we're gonna dissect what you're saying point by point.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we're going to do this. So
Okay.
what you're at, we're going to take our time with this. So you're saying in 1961, okay. So
Yes.
what happened? Okay. So in 1961, what went up?
In other words, 1961, okay, because of civil rights, because of the Great Society, right?
Mm,
President Kennedy allowed black women to get the same federal welfare that white women got from 1935. Black women were not allowed to get
mm,
it until 1961, right? Even though that's
okay.
what FDR put in. Okay,
Okay.
white women didn't get it in 1961. Okay, all of a sudden, guess what happened? Even though black men's unemployment rates were going down, guess what happened? Welfare was shooting up. That's what caused the Monahan scissors. He said, "What the fuck is going on?" And that's not gonna be.
Okay, now let me ask you a question.
Now, hold on.
I'll let you go. I'll let you go.
I haven't
let you.
finished.
All right, go ahead.
That's mid-sentence, right? Okay.
Go ahead.
That's not gonna be contacted Clark. What the hell is?
So I want to stop here because when BGS begins to talk about, again, he is again correlating the decline in marriage to welfare, which to me makes no sense. It really makes no sense because welfare was a function of the lack of opportunities that Black people or Black women were getting at the time. There were poor people marrying before welfare. There are going to be poor people marrying after welfare. Now, again, there is no significant research to conclude that Black women merely did not marry because of welfare. What the choices that they had was merely a choice that was influenced by their value system. If their value system, the way they were raised and the way they were, as far as the things that they value as far as family, having a family of their own, and what they valued in a man, that in itself influenced whether or not they wanted to be married or not. Because as I also debated with brother BGS on this same issue, Black women were already in poverty. Welfare is basically a pathway to continuous long-term poverty. It did not, the benefits that these women were getting were not significantly catapulting them to a better standard of living. They were still living a low level. They were still living a low level as far as in contrast to everybody else in American society. And that's just a fact. It's just a fact. It was not limited. It was not limited to that. There were more dynamics, but again, they want to limit everything to welfare, to the Moynihan report, all of these different things when it was a lot more complex than that. But let me continue.
What's going on? Okay, explain this to me. That's what tangular pathology actually came from. Didn't come from Moynihan. It came from Clark. Go ahead now.
Okay, now let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
What decade do we see the greatest increase in single female headed households in the Black community?
The greatest increase, as far as percentage wise?
The greatest increase.
60s.
No, it's not the 60s, sir. That's incorrect. No, it's not. No. I'll let you talk. Don't make me don't make I'll let you get your points out. I'll let you get your points out. I'll let you get your points out. How you gonna interrupt me? I'm gonna have to mute you if you ain't gonna be cooperative.
Hey, wait a minute. Okay.
Okay, they're getting a little hot, but I'm gonna continue.
Did you not ask me a question? You disagreed with me. I said, prove it. I asked.
I'm about to prove it.
Can you let me finish the goddamn sentence before you disagree with it?
Go ahead.
The greatest percentage of
Carrie Ann
We're
crazy.
doing percentage or we talking about volume? Which one we talking about?
Talking about percentage. The greatest increase, the decade where we see the greatest increase in single female headed households in the Black community is the 1930s. Because when you just mentioned what FDR did with the Social Security Act and those things, you just not mentioned the year 1935.
Okay,
what was going on? Hold on. I'm gonna let you ask it. Hold on. What was going on? Now, BGS. Hold on. What was going on in the 1930s?
Amiri.
Go ahead.
If I ask the question, it's only going to take like 5%.
Let me move forward because it was things were getting all mixed up.
Okay, so now let me ask you this: what bureau are you getting those statistics from? Because you are aware that marriage is not indicative of family structure. You are aware of that.
It does. What it said? How do you count it?
What do you mean?
How do you?
We know that they were getting that information from the Census Bureau. You asked me a question. You asked me a question. Okay. We know that they were getting that. We know that they were getting that from the Census Bureau information, And we know, dealing specifically with the Black community, and more particularly Black men, the Census Bureau data information isn't accurate. So we know that. So see, you're using this, and this is what y'all do. Y'all use these faulty statistics to try and make these categorical statements, and you're gonna have to prove what you're saying.
That is highly true in the manosphere and red pill spaces. They will take old and outdated. They will take old and outdated content and statistics that have been debunked. They're still debating the Moynihan report. When I was in college, the professor I had that spoken in sociology spent maybe 15 minutes on the Moynihan report and moved on to other important topics. These Negroes have debated the Moynihan report for 8 years. Facts. And they don't understand statistics. This was one of the biggest issues that I had with the manosphere. These Negroes, all they look at are raw numbers and raw percentages, and they don't understand what research validity is and research reliability of the research. They don't understand methodology to collect the data. So if you're going to merely just talk about percentages without putting them in context, without talking about the limitations, I can't have a discussion with you. And this is one reason why they don't like me when I come on a panel. This is one reason why I stopped coming on panels. They knew that they could not out debate me on this because they don't understand research. And I point out that they're not even qualified to even have this discussion with me because you've never done research like me. I've done research reports and have assisted my professors in the data collection on published research. So you can't, and I know how to manipulate numbers to make things seem a certain way that may not necessarily be, unless you understand how to decipher it. These Negroes will take any statistic from out of nowhere, from anywhere, and try to make it fit into their ideology.
And the Census Bureau isn't accurate.
Can I reply?
Go ahead.
Can I reply? How do you know that the baby is born out of wedlock? When out of wedlock? It's on a what? It's called a birth certificate, right? Where does that? That's not the Census Bureau that counts those, is it?
They have that. It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Department of Health. It doesn't.
It's the Department of Health.
Let me ask you a question. In the 19th, and we do know there are documented cases of Black people. Let me ask you a question. I'm asking you a question.
Well, hold on.
I'm asking you.
Hey. In other words, stop jumping around. Right? You asked a question about birth.
This is my channel. That's why I wanted to do this here, because this is what they do. Now, they're using these faulty statistics. Marriage rates are not indicative of family structure, period. And we know that up into the 1960s in the South, you still had Black people on plantations who were, for all intents and purposes, slaves.
That's facts. That is facts. Marriage statistics are not necessarily indicative of family structure, but the functional environment that they're living under, or the social environment. Is the relationship a functional relationship between the man and the woman? That, to make it lack of a better phrase. Okay? Because if the man and the woman who are married are not functioning appropriately, that has nothing to do with the children. Most marriages at that time were not due to issues of the family structure. It was issues related to how the man or the woman, husband or wife, treated each other or functioned in that relationship. And it also was heavily influenced by finances. Okay? Those were the primary things. And also infidelity, particularly at that time. because there were a lot of black men during that time that were married that had second families. Let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real. Okay? But the problem I have is these guys reduce highly complex situations to things to just feminism, to just, you know, just to feminism. The black woman didn't do this and the black man did that, and that's just as simple as that. No, it is not. It is never that simple when it comes to relationships. I have never, and a person who has facilitated marriage counseling for over 16 years, I've never had a simple solution to anybody's marriage being saved or relationship being saved. Each relationship pertained complex issues, which took long-term solutions over time and change of behavior and work to improve. It's not simple. Nothing is simple when it comes to any relationship. And our relationships are not the same. They are uniquely different.
So this is what they continue to want to do.
In wedlock.
Go ahead.
If you're back way back, even when my grandmother was having babies, right? If to have a birth certificate, right, she had to say whether she was married with this child, right? You in other words, you look at your own birth certificate, right? Okay, there's a checkbox: is she married? Is she not married? Right? When that child is born. Okay, am I correct?
Yeah, you can be correct about that. Yeah, I'll give you that. Okay.
Am I correct? Right. So
I'll give you that. Okay.
I want to know. Okay. So if she checks not married and that baby is born, guess what? That baby is what?
What is
born
it?
out of what?
Out of wedlock?
Out of wedlock. It's not that hard, Chief. Now go ahead.
Okay. See, these are fruitless arguments. So why would a woman married check the box that she not married? See this, man, this shit. See, these are the arguments. So now we're going to talk about the out of wedlock rate. You know, like, okay. See, this shit is funny, man. This is why I don't go to these guys. I like so what was the point of that? Like, why would a married woman not check that she's married? Even a person that's separated carrying another man's name is going to. I don't even get that. Like, you know, the only way that I could see a woman not checking that she's married in that position is if that child is not for the man she's married to. But this shit is stupid, man. But let me continue.
My uncle is 90. He has the birth certificate.
Okay. Now.
Okay.
Now that we've gotten that out the way.
Thank you.
You said that in the 60s, the out of wedlock child rate went up because of welfare.
The federal welfare, right? Yeah, it started to go. Yeah, it was going up because of welfare.
Again, this Negro thinks that black women decided not to get married for a few crumbs. Are you losing your mind? Many of those women actually, and see what he's not going to talk about, that many of those women actually got on welfare because the men that impregnated them were not around. See, that's the reason why they got welfare, because they didn't have support. Now, back in those days, black families were way more, particularly in the South, were a female, young female, or whomever that got pregnant, and the guy was not there. Your extended family back in those days supported you, and it was your choice, even with that support, to seek welfare and other social service benefits. But those women did not want to choose those women chose welfare out of desperation as a last resort because they didn't have a man to help them support the damn children that they created with them. See, again, you see, these guys refuse to give black male accountability. And it sickens me that this is a 65 plus year old man speaking like this. This is not a 20-year-old man, 25, 30. This is a 60 plus 65-year-old man who has lived life and ain't learned a goddamn thing. But he's on YouTube teaching this shit. And you got younger, impressionable men believing this. Black men, the trend was starting around that time where we start seeing this exodus of black men out of the home and not marrying black women. The trends began in the 60s. It took off. Yes, T-Pre, he's 60 plus 65 years old. He's at least 60, 65. Somewhere around that amount. I know he's definitely in his mid-60s or approaching that. Yes, he is that old. The trend began in the 60s. It took off in the 70s. It even increased even higher in the 90s. And yes, they had things such as the crack epidemic and other things that basically influenced us being in the position as black people that we are in at this moment. RZA lyricist, I have blown a fuse many times in this situation. I have blown multiple fuses, and I'm not about to get my blood pressure up arguing with these niggas. I used to blow a fuse and argue and yell and scream. I had to stop doing that shit because it's not healthy. And when I found out that these Negroes are just not intellectually sound, I'm not going to spend my time arguing with fools. I actually had an argument with this same guy, BGS Ipmore, about maybe 5-6 months ago, twice. And we ended up yelling and cursing each other out over statistics, the same type of shit that he don't understand. And I finally was like, man, I gotta stop doing this shit. I gotta stop doing this. But let me continue.
Yeah. Okay, so what other corresponding events were taking place during that time that could contribute to out of wedlock childbirths?
Okay, basically, for the most part, well, if you count feminism, okay, well, that was in the 70s, but basically, that's the precursor. That's what it was. Guess what? You didn't need your man no more. Okay.
Again, this is another Negro. This Negro thinks that feminism taught women that you didn't need your man no more. They actually think that feminism taught black women that you don't need your man anymore and you should marry to the system. You should marry to the welfare system. Are you out of your fucking mind? And when you say that, it's irrespective that the statistics have always shown that black women are the second to least likely to marry or date outside of their race than any other group of men. So if black women are the most loyal, regardless if they're getting married or not, how the hell are they not choosing these men? That shit don't make sense. The statistic does not reflect that they chose government benefits over a man. Now, the issue is that in this society, our black men have the hardest time as far as, producing wealth, being employed, educated, and so on. And we were not in a position economically to take care of families, and the fact that due to our own issues as black men, making silly mistakes and not being focused on being family orientated. But also there's a cultural issue of black men being raised to be proper fathers and proper providers. So it's partially societal and it's partial internal in the culture of black of black society. So Doug states, I give credit to Vietnam for taking fathers out of the home. Many of those men came back unfit to be fathers and husbands after the war. That can potentially be a aspect of it. I won't say that was a significant, because most black men did not go to Vietnam. But what I will say, that the large percentage that survived came back mentally, they were not themselves. They were definitely they suffered some level of mental health issues for the most part. Many of them came back with PTSD, undiagnosed PTSD, and other diseases. And that's just a fact. Let me continue.
Okay.
Okay, so why are those men during that time period having children with women they're not married to?
Those times they're still doing it.
Why are they doing it? Because what I'm trying to get to is, okay, if there is this tangle of pathology, whose pathological behavior is creating it?
It's both. It's both. It's not one or the other. It's both. That's why they call it. That's why it's a tangle. It's not one person or the other. It's, basically, Clark never blamed one person or the other. He never blamed.
Okay.
He never blamed women. He never blamed men.
Okay,
Okay. How are we gonna do this, man? How are we gonna do this?
So
Okay.
hold on, because I wanted to ask you another question.
I know. But the thing is, when I do it to you, guess what you do? When I ask you, no, when I do it to you, when you're talking, and I want to ask you another question, what do you do to me?
I don't know what.
You said, oh, you gotta let me talk. Otherwise, I'm gonna meet you, bring you down.
Okay, logical, it would be considered adaptive, because under those conditions, under that environment, the behavior is very much rational and logical. So it's logical for a person to say, okay, if I have a child, I can get benefits and I can get money, and that'll help ease my poverty a little bit. That's not pathological behavior. That's adaptive behavior, because it's rational and logical for a person to do that.
Let me ask you a question.
So we just have a fundamental understanding of what pathology is. I think I'm talking.
First of all, guys, let me clear this shit up. Okay. So when you speak about pathology or psychopathology, what we're talking about is that there has been a group of experiences and circumstances that leads to the sickness of a person's, or the inability of a person to function, whether it is hereditary, behavioral, psychological, that leaves them on a dysfunctional path. There is nothing pathological about accepting a government benefit. This shit is like elementary to me, and I refuse to have these fucking these fucking silly arguments. These are unintellectual arguments. You don't even understand what pathology means. Pathology is developed over time. It has nothing to do with isolated events of your social status. When we're talking about the pathology of the black community, the pathology of the black community, to me, is heavily influenced by the state in which we operate in under a system of white supremacy. We have to operate under a system in which we are judged negatively merely by the color of our skin and our features. And people have a predisposed perception of us that causes us to be marginalized, discriminated against, etc. that hinders our ability to be successful in life. This is not hereditary. See, the pseudoscience of years back said stuff like, "Oh, black people are automatically unintelligent, and black people are, this or that, or they lack this or they lack." All of that was pseudoscience and debunked. I wish in that position, Amiri could have kept it to just the observable events, observable behaviors, and the outcomes of those decisions. Because BGS don't know what pathology means. Let me continue.
Social mores or the social values that govern social interaction. So that's why they do it.
So and this is why that's why what Monahan was talking about.
Oh,
right?
Lord, Monahan
what he
again.
talked about for every other group that didn't happen. Why only black?
Every other group did not have the black experience. BGS. You cannot. The unique experience of black Americans is not parallel to any other fucking group in this nation. Okay? Therefore, you're making a faulty comparison. There's no other group that was enslaved for over 200 plus years since this country was inducted. There was no other group that went through fucking segregation and reconstruction, sharecropping. And I don't want to hear no shit about the Irish and the Italians and all of these other ethnic groups that, but in the 40s, the 50s, and 60s, they were given the label as white, and they were able to easily socialize within or integrate into American society, which they were already doing before that. And they took on white supremacist talking points and behaviors and treated black people, even while they were somewhat segregated from other whites, the same way. They had the same racist attitudes and the same racist behaviors. I'm talking Jews, I'm talking Italians, I'm talking Irish, Germans, and etc. That's just the facts. We have to have these. We have to have genuine conversation. We cannot ignore the facts and get out of your feelings. Get out of your feelings. If it is recorded and validated that we did something, then we have to own up to what we did. As a black man in 2023, I have to own up to the fact that as black men, we need to do better for the black community. That is an observable fact that is validated by research. It's published. That's just a fact. Now, but what I'm not going to do is say that all black men are doing or engaging in being and just being unproductive in the community. That's just not true. What I am saying is that we have a large percentage of black men who are falling at the wayside, and this needs to be corrected. And we as black men have to be accountable for the lack of what we're doing in our community. That's just facts.
Black people, especially when he was actually talking about in 1960s and 70s.
So wait, hold on, say that again, BJS.
Why only black people were having this huge increase of out of wedlock births in the 60s? Why?
Well, we know why.
Because white women had with the same welfare since 1935.
Yeah,
How come they
we
didn't?
know why. We know
How?
why.
Why? Why?
Because of racism, white supremacy, and the beginning of mass incarceration of black men in earnest. Because what the bureaucrats, including Moynihan, who came up with the benign neglect policy, what they wanted to do, faced with this new rise of revolutionary spirit in young black men at that.
That is facts. But see, what he wants to say is that black women just merely made this choice because they felt like they were better than black men. I'm sorry. Black women did not make that stupid decision. Black women have never given up on black men. I don't give a damn what position we've been, and they certainly didn't do it at that time. There is no research. All of that is, see, he's making points that are filled in biasness, they're somewhat misogynistic in nature, and it's just speculative. There's nothing factual about that. You just, and I'm trying to figure out how did you, what information caused you to speculate that? Because no information substantiates that claim outside of your faulty ideology about women. But let me move further.
Okay. But if you're not going to get rid of that, make it equalize this kind of stuff, then guess what? You're going to have a manosphere. You're going to have actually an inequity. They're actually going to start going someplace else because it's not fair. That's the first thing they say. Why do you think they come to the manosphere? Why do you think I came to the manosphere? It's just not fair.
So he came to the manosphere saying that shit in society is not fair because they're giving black women all of these trinkets and all of these gifts and all of these entitlements, and they're not giving the black man nothing. See, in a sense, it is a victim. It's a loser. It's a loser narrative, not a victim. I call it a loser narrative. And men have to be responsible for creating their own shit. So basically what he's saying, he crying, Mr. White Man, how come you gave my sister the welfare, but you didn't give me nothing? Well, Negro, you a man. You're supposed to build your own shit. Quit begging. Let's continue. Negroes, and this is another myth in the manosphere space. These Negroes claim they're making $100,000 or more in tech, and that's a goddamn lie. The average Negro in the manosphere, and I know this for a fact because I've been in this space for over 7 years. Many of these Negroes barely got a high school education. Some of them don't even have that, and they're making less than $45K a year. That's just a fact. Especially the ones that you see on YouTube at least 40 plus hours every fucking day, 40 hours a week. These Negroes, do not understand that you have to be accountable and quit blaming women for shit that they were not responsible for. Black women are not responsible for you not deciding to start your own business. Black women are not responsible for you not getting success. Black women are not responsible for you making poor decisions. Black women are not responsible for you committing crimes. And damn sure black women are not responsible for you leaving the home and not taking care of your own damn children. That's just a fact. But it's men like you who, by the way, your life epitomizes the fact that you are part of the problem in the black community because you are a man who had little or no success in your life. You are a man with no real skills that are to be competitive in the marketplace. You are a man that couldn't keep a wife. You are a man that don't get along with your own children. You are a man who was divorced multiple times, and you are a man that found yourself at 60 plus years old alone with no wife, no kids, no nothing, and you want to blame black women for your failures. And that's just the facts. That's just the facts. Blame yourself. Look in the goddamn mirror.
Especially in the black community. It's not fair. Hasn't been for a very long time. That's like guys actually bouncing.
Okay, I'm sorry about that, BJ. Something was going on. I didn't hear nothing you said. I had to. Something was going on with my dog on Bluetooth. So go.
We can actually be independent, get our jobs, all that kind of stuff, but you still have to pay. That's where it started. 1976.
Okay. You talking about the men's rights movement?
Yeah. What are men's rights asking for, right? Really, they're not really asking for. You had iterations of it, right? You had the in the 1970s, which is men's rights and really anti-feminist, okay, and then you had the what they call the Promise Keepers, starting in the late 80s, early 90s, okay, to actually which is actually a right-wing movement to actually get women and children back a new patriarchy.
Let me stop there. Okay, so men's rights movements are actually they're under the umbrella of conservative movements. That's something that is not stated because the manosphere is highly conservative, and they refuse to blame white supremacy for any fucking thing. So you're going to say that there are men's rights movements in which these laws were written by white men. These men's rights movements were established by white men. There are not very many. I don't know of any major prominent black male men's right movement. All of those men's rights movements were established and formed by white men. Instead of trying to argue with white women or other women for that issue, you should be trying to argue with your brother who wrote the fucking laws. This is dumb. In a society where white men get all the goddamn benefits and the benefit of the doubt and rights and opportunities. The men's rights movements made up of unsuccessful, uneducated, beaten down white men who were upset that they could not be more successful than other women. So then they want the right to take away shit from white women who earned what they earned, so that because as a man, I should be as a white man at that, I should be entitled. A white woman should not be more successful than me, and a black man damn sure should not be more successful than me. All of those men's rights movement, just like what do they call it? The MGTOW movements and other the original red pill communities, they were racist. This fool was actually part of a men's rights movement in red pill like MGTOW, and they kicked him out because of being black. He actually created a group called IPMOR, or Black MGTOW, because when he was in the MGTOW movement, going your own way, they were racist and they didn't want to hear what he had to say about black male issues. So you can miss me on the reason for men's rights movements when white men are actually enjoying all the fucking benefits of the country.
Get men back into the homes, back into the church, back healing, so-called healing their families. Okay, that shit got killed by the feminists, and then after that, then it morphed into the MRN men's right movement in the late 90s, 2000s. That's where the red pill actually started.
Okay, that doesn't change the fact that they were a part of that whole hippies left movement in the beginning.
The left.
You know, okay, they went into those men. Listen, those men that was a part of that, they went into two different factions. One of them went on to be men's rights activists, and then some of the other part of those men went on to be male feminists. Okay. So you can't have a Batman without a Joker. So you can't have feminists talking about throwing off the patriarchy, and it's not going to create a men's rights movement. So,
That
the only point that I'm making is that this is all about bucking against what we would consider centralized rule.
Men do not most of men's rights, they don't really care about patriarchy for the most part, right? They just want a fair shot.
That's a goddamn lie. They talk about patriarchy and the problems of matriarchy and feminism all the goddamn time. He's being very disingenuous here.
Okay.
But that's my point, though.
But the patriarchy doesn't exist anymore.
Well, it does. It does. It does.
Okay.
You're
Compare.
going by your definition.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
If you compare Western patriarchy back before they ended it, okay, what's the definition of patriarchy as far as what do you think it is? What do you think patriarchy actually is? What is it?
Patriarchy is fatherhood,
Okay, fatherhood, ownership of your children, family, wealth,
stewardship, those things.
stewardship. So in other words, patriarchy is just the um, being in the home, taking your kids without the rights.
I don't know. Listen, patriarchy was. This is my point. Patriarchy was never an institution that all men participated in anyway. Patriarchy is the definition that derives from the people who run that society. And everywhere on the planet, the people who run societies and the civilizations are men. And those men so happen to be fathers of families. That's why it's called patriarchal rule. It was never. Hold on. It was
Okay.
never to, it was never to the everyday layman. That's not what it was.
Where do you get that from? Where do you get that from?
I get that from John Locke.
We get that.
I get that from John. I get that from John Locke.
We just read. We went through John Locke on the patriarchy. Guess what? John Locke was in what he actually said. We just read through Locke what patriarchy actually was. Okay.
And what did John Locke? Real quick, what did John Locke say? Because even when we're talking about the Enlightenment period and those things, this was all about the divine right of kings to rule. And what did he say? He said the first kings were what? The first kings were fathers of family. That's where the term patriarchy comes from.
The kings were, but you had kings in matriarchy. It's called the pharaoh.
Matriarchies don't exist, BGS. Matriarchies don't exist.
Matriarchies don't exist.
No,
they don't. Really?
No.
Okay.
Matriarchy exists as a term, but as an actual form of social organization, social life, and hierarchical rule, matriarchies don't exist. And the reason why matriarchies, real quick, the reason why matriarchies don't exist is because men, by and large, are the ones who produce material wealth because of the sexual division of labor. And it is the sexual division of labor of men. That's what I was talking about earlier. It's the sexual division of labor of men that create resources. And so because of that, men were in control of the resources. This is what created social stratification, and this is what created hierarchy. Prior to that, the societies were not hierarchical. They were egalitarian. They were flat. They were horizontal. So there was very little stratification between men and women, or even men and men. So I mean, we just have two very different definitions of these.
I go by the people that actually wrote this shit, man. They actually the experts in this stuff. I go by what they.
What I'm saying, I'm just making it up.
You're making it up. Go read their literature. The people that are actually experts in this shit, because they have a very different definition.
And so the anthropologists that I've read, the anthropological literature that I read, what makes what you're reading any more valid than what I'm reading?
It's because the anthropological people that you read are actually taking notes and taking the structure from these people that I've read. Okay. Backafin, what's his name? Brefault, and a few others, right? Actually, we had this big ass debate for about 2 months over this shit. Okay. We had to go back and actually read the fucking literature and actually read the goddamn literature about how.
And how old is that literature you're reading, BGS?
Huh?
How old is that literature you're reading?
Backafin is actually 1850. Okay, And
Backerfin, he's the one who first
he reading shit from 1850 something. Shit is crazy.
First posited this idea of a matriarchy stemming from the goddess cult, the worship of Venus, the worship of women as having special powers by bringing forth children, because humans may not have necessarily understood reproduction, which I find to be quite absurd. When humans could just hold on. I find Backerfin's assertion to be absurd, to suggest that humans didn't have the intelligence to understand reproduction when all they had to do was observe other animals and other species reproducing, sir. So that's stupid. Backerfin is incorrect.
To you.
Backerfin is incorrect. See, brother.
It doesn't matter, dude. What is the accepted terms that we are defining, and who's defining them?
Matriarchy and patriarchy don't even have a real definition. They're nothing but terms that denote culture.
When we use these terms, who's defining them? What definition do we go by?
What do you mean?
When we define wait, God damn it. Don't interrupt me again. Okay?
Go ahead.
Getting a little testy there.
We have to define these fucking terms, right? What do they mean by patriarchy? What do they mean by matriarchy, right? You have to define them, okay? If you're going to have to take a stance one way or the other, you have to define these terms, right? Especially in a Western capitalist country, okay? Have to define the fucking terms. Who do you define them by? By the people that actually came up with them. Matriarchy is a Greek term, okay? It's a Greek term.
And what does it mean?
Huh?
What does it mean?
It means rule by women, okay?
Oh, so does it mean rule by women, or does it mean motherhood? What does it mean, baby?
It means archy means what? What does it mean?
Archy means rule stratification.
No, rule by women. No.
Listen, BGS, this is where we keep having this. Listen, this is where we keep having.
Look it up. Okay. Look, man, I'm not gonna argue. Look this shit up.
This is what BGS. In order for
no. Look the motherfucker up. Look it up. I did. Look it up.
You got mad.
I don't want to hear what you think. Look it up.
In order for a person to be a ruler, they have to have what? They have to have higher status than a person who's lower. So that's stratification. See, none of the matriarchy and patriarchy doesn't exist before you get stratification, period. And because men are the ones who produce the resources, all social stratifications are dominated by men. So matriarchy does not exist in the real material world, because women do not produce more resources than men. So how are they going to rule? This is what he keeps ignoring. How you gonna be a ruler with somebody you equal to? Explain that. And then see, now I gotta mute him because he want to keep getting all mad. And this is what they do when they start getting intellectually handled. And see, I have a real cogent understanding of this stuff. Then they want to get mad.
Now let me stop there. BGS left after that. Once things were defined, he left. Like the little, biatch that he is. Every time he's challenged, he did that to me. One time when I was on, I think if it was on Amiri channel or somebody else's channel, I think I was on, we was arguing this. We was on Sergeant, whatever the hell his name, that policeman from Baltimore. We had the same situation where this Negro, every time he get challenged or somebody start to call him out on his rhetoric, he gets upset and want to leave. He has a habit of doing this. What's up, Chaos Rain?
What's good?
What's up, player?
I'm good.
We just discussing. I said I was going to do a review, so I decided to go ahead and do a little review for a little bit and chop it up about it. And
so it looks like you be doing reviews now, moving forward, since you want to get it nice and growth. That's good, man. I tell you, man, this better suit you. I'm not saying that people can't learn from the dating sector of your channel, the other channels, but this is where you at, man. Personally, you're better at this because you have credentials in your field. This there should be more to focus. If anybody's talking about certain things, you could break it down because you're more well qualified for over 20 years.
Right. Well, the same thing in relationships too, because I do a lot of relationships.
I mean, anything. I know we can't talk about relationships because that channel got to grow a little bit, you know. Let people get absorbed because, you know, people, in my opinion, they're more focused on trying to get some than being real relationships.
Right.
That's just the honest truth.
So
now,
go ahead.
I would say it's, and I should forward this to you. I did a stream 2 days ago on is men leaving a problem. I think that's the title I call it.
Leaving what? Leaving the home or leaving community?
I'm trying to remember the name. Let me find the name of my stream. Damn, I can't remember the name of the stream. My channel. It was titled that I did. Here it is. Dangers of men checking out. Passive bros, you know, traveling abroad, etc. This is like I think my second, third channel I did. I think my third episode or fourth episode I did this.
Men checking out, mean the Passport Brothers and stuff that they're doing?
Yeah, that's one of the main focus, but it's just in general. But it was really on the article itself.
Okay.
On that you didn't know that exists, but it was posted on December the 29th. And someone wrote an article about these Passport Bros.
Right.
Did you know about that?
Yes, I did, but I didn't read it. But I heard about.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna give you no details. You gotta read for yourself. It's a decent read.
Right. My thing with the Passport Brothers, I mean, they doing what they doing, but the reality is that most black men can't afford to travel like that. So I don't know how that's gonna work. You know, most black men can't afford to travel. I'm just gonna be honest; they can't. I mean, what I'm gonna say, will there be an increase in black men going out? I think black men should travel. Black people should travel in general. Black men, just as a community, we should travel more. But the reality is that less than 15% of black men gonna travel like that, can afford to. That's the reality. You could want to go to Jamaica, you can want to go to Colombia all you want, but if you can't afford to live in Colombia or those trips, then that's just it's just entertainment on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just being real. I mean, they making money on YouTube, but the reality is that I'm gonna just say this: most black men don't want to go to foreign countries because most black men don't have relationship issues to that extreme to feel like they have to subject themselves to that. And that's the reality. The average black man does not have problems getting sex. The average black man does not.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, and that is what these and I understand there's Negroes who have a hard time understanding it. I'm just going to tell you this: an average black, let's just say an average black man, average looking, decent shape. He got himself somewhere. He got his own car, his own apartment, or whatever. This is average. This is just stuff you should be doing as an adult. The average black man with a full-time job, you know, got an average looking car, got a little money in it, saved or whatever. Don't have a problem finding a woman. Don't have a problem getting sick. Mm-hmm. It's just Negroes who don't have and lacking in two or more of those things. They the ones who got the issues. That's the issue. So you're really speaking to a set population that really is not functional in some of the areas that I just talked about. A lot of these Negroes on the internet are living with their mama. They don't have their own place. They don't have a consistent job. They don't have money. And a lot of them don't have education or marketable skills. That's just this is just the facts. They don't. That's why they on YouTube so much. Because people with functional skills making money like that would don't have time to do this shit full time. They don't have time to spend 30, 40 hours a week on YouTube. They are actually in their industries continuing to progress and be more functional. No man, I'm gonna say this. No real successful, very few successful professionals will give up their profession to do YouTube. I don't care how much money they're making. Very few are willing to do that. Even somebody like the real attorney, he even though he's not fully, he didn't fully give up his law practice and stuff, he actually found a way where he's doing legal consultation in conjunction to the YouTube. He's actually bringing his practice more business, just at a different level. You know,
the lead attorney. Yeah,
but yeah, the lead attorney he found, and I do the same thing. I mean, I have had consultations and therapy. I've done therapy for some people on YouTube. Most of them are actually from other sectors that just found me on YouTube. I've done consultations and I've done therapy work with people over the time. You know, that's just a fact. But I would never give up my practice and my businesses to just do YouTube.
YouTube only and only source of income. I agree.
That don't even make sense.
No man personally, since we have this conversation, is going to get what they are making decent money or even above average to do this full time.
And I'm gonna tell you why. YouTube, the reason why you should never do that is because even if you're making millions, and there are people on here that's like the 1% of the 1% making millions.
Yep.
Man, YouTube changed guidelines. They taking 30%. They change. You have no control of the business. It's not really a partnership. You're really subcontracting. They call it a YouTube,
and it's not sustainable either.
Yeah, it's not sustainable over time. You could be hot for 3, 4, 5 years, and the next 2 or 3, you barely making $2,000 a month. I mean, that's just the reality of it. I mean, it's a good side hustle to supplement what you already got on. I don't care if it makes more than what you're making in real life. The bottom line is not successful. Is not sustainable for 30 years. It's not because YouTube has only been around for a good 20. I mean, not 20, but a good 15 years or more. You know.
I'm very honest with you. I know one person talked about one of the content creators. They're trying to teach people how to do this so they can get out their little so-called 45 something $1,000 a year job and all that. And I said that's cool, but the problem is this platform, regardless of what you bring and you put into this website, YouTube, is never sustainable. And the reason why, because they always constantly change the game on you. One day you see you're hot, next you low. Channels become things you put out on here. I mean, this shit is not. This is for the birds. Personally.
Yeah, to me, it's just a good stream of income that you can capitalize on, in as a supplement to what you already have that's consistent. But if you I don't give a damn if you making 75K and you consistent with that, and let's say on YouTube you making 150, I would not leave my $75,000 job a year to do YouTube if I made 100. I don't care if I made $1 million, I wouldn't do it because that $1 million is not sustainable. You don't know if you're going to make that 5-10 years from now. But that $75,000 job that you may have has a higher chance of being there than that $150 to $1 million you may make on YouTube. That's just the reality. But I also wanted to make a comment, but I wanted to cut it off there. But in regards to the channel, man, there was a lot of extremist rhetoric in the chat on that show, and I've noticed that on multiple shows. And I watch Amiri channel a lot from the clouds, and I don't come down a lot sometimes. But you got men saying crazy stuff that's supporting BGS. Then you had the women. Some of those women come from the divestment channels and stuff. They were saying crazy stuff too. That lady Prism was saying some stupid stuff. She kept generalizing black men as if all black men.
She said something to me. Do you know that?
No, I didn't know she said. What did she say to you?
She watched me closely, and she think not picking a side with these men. That I agree that these men said women should be submissive. They should have that chassis. Bro, how I look at a lot of these females, let's say like her, like you mentioned, they come from another sector to come over to here and get the daily dose of black men ain't shit. Get at these niggas.
Right.
That's what I'm getting off.
Yeah, that's what it is. And to me, I'm like this, man. Listen, I'm not gonna argue with you. If you feel the way you feel, and you're the one, putting yourself in this position in which you want to yell and scream at people and raise your blood pressure and heart, condition and all this other shit up over YouTube. I'm not about to lose my mind and health over no goddamn YouTube, over somebody I don't know and never met. So you can miss me with coming on this brother channel saying all this crazy stuff. Yes, the manosphere does say a lot of crazy shit, and she had a lot of legitimate points about what the manosphere said. But all black men and most black men don't think like that. And you need to get your ass off of YouTube and interact with real black men in the real aggregate, social aggregate, because they don't talk like this. And if you have allowed yourself to be conditioned, you're no different than the men in the manosphere that say the same stuff. You're just saying it from a female perspective. That's just it. That, you know, but that's just me speaking, man. So I mean, you know, but
let's be honest. Cause she tried to get at Mahogany about a chat room, and forgot said that the chat room was not set a certain way. Because most people that's coming on to when Amiri has these conversations with other men, talking about, majority are not actual subscribers to the channel. And I would know because it was set a certain way. We could tell by the chat room how the chat room moves. You get me?
Right.
See the real?
Right.
So obviously they come here for the daily dose of, I need you to talk shit about this side. We need this gender banging.
And that's what, and Amiri's not for that.
He's not for that. No.
He really not. So you're going to the wrong channel for that. And nobody, my thing is this, man, like you have a right to have your position about black men. If you got issues with black men in the manosphere, but you can't sit here and talk shit about black men who don't share those sentiments. And you saying that shit to people that don't agree with it, but you basically denigrating me in the process. Like you no different than some of these men in the manosphere that do the same shit to women that don't have certain sentiments. You know, you need to talk that shit to the guys in the chat that say that stuff to you. Correct. So I want to say something further. I'm gonna go to Miss Queen. So Collard Green Cornbread said some are making big bucks on YouTube. If you manage your money well and invest, you'll be set. Cynthia G and Umar. Those are bad examples.
Those are bad examples.
Those are real bad. And I'm gonna tell you why. Cynthia G is an example of a person at one time who had over 1,500 Patreons and different stuff, and she had a banging channel, and she lost that because there were white men in this sector and white supremacists that got her channel shut down. She went from having all of that to almost nothing, and it took her almost a year and a half to build her channel up to where it is now. So no, that's and as far as Umar ain't even look. He can barely pay the taxes on the building right now. He claimed the school is going to open in February. That is yet to be seen. Until February comes, the school is not open, and when that time comes, then we'll say something then. What's up, Miss Queen?
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, baby? I'm good.
No,
we can hear you.
Come back, because it sounds like you're using your phone. We better hear you.
Say what?
I can hear you.
If it's on the phone, it's gonna be very odd in the playback. But go ahead.
Oh. So you gonna go back to making manosphere content?
You say what?
I said you going back to making content about the manosphere?
I'm not gonna necessarily say I'm gonna be making content about the manosphere, but I will be talking about things that they may say that I do disagree with. But I'm gonna talk more about relationships and things going on in the black community.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be more. It's gonna be now the things that I'm gonna talk about in relationships will actually be conflicting to the things that they say, because it's gonna be the direct opposite. But it's not going to necessarily be manosphere content per se.
Oh, that's fine. I listen to somebody saying, because I can't listen to the manosphere. They are insane. It's like I'm not going to listen to them divestors. They insane too. I am not insane. I am sane. I have my sanity. I cannot listen to these insane people. I tried and I can't. I cannot. These people are insane. I cannot do it.
They are insane, man. They were insane over there by Amiri. I saw you in the chat. You can some of the stuff that they were saying. I mean, they come there just saying all just the craziest stuff, man. And the thing about it is, like yourself, like Queen, I know you're married, right?
Yeah.
They will prefer. Let's say you gave a standpoint on like how you function in your marriage, right? They would have women trying to tell you that they never had a man in their life for more than 3 months. How you supposed to act in your marriage?
Oh yeah, I know. They be talking to me crazy.
Crazy. You know.
I be getting talked too crazy by the women, getting talked too crazy by the men. I'm like, yeah, because all y'all crazy. That's why y'all can't stand each other and y'all want each other and can't have each other because y'all all crazy. And somehow in between all this foolishness, somehow y'all keep making babies. Y'all just crazy as hell. Just don't make
that don't make sense either. How the babies, all the hate, but the babies keep popping up. You know, you got all these children.
No. Dieter, those are hate babies.
Hate babies, huh?
Hate babies.
They just hate fucking. They ain't hating the fucking though. They keep fucking. You loving something, you keep going back to it. Shit. But yeah, man, that's
insane. But BGS knew he didn't have no argument. You can tell by the way he was delivering his speech. He ought to be ashamed of himself.
This is the issue with BGS. BGS has gotten away with lying to these black men for so long with no pushback.
Yep.
I'm talking about no pushback. Everything these Negroes accept everything this Negro says for years. And I'm talking about almost a decade of this Negro. And see, he really didn't start getting pushback until like the last year and a half to 2 years. But this Negro could get away with saying all kinds of shit, and they just BGS said he teaching. This, and I'm looking at them like, are y'all serious? Are y'all? This is the master teacher. This is what y'all following. And the guy he reading old debunked information. Like I'm like, dude, you don't understand statistics at all. And I'm like, man, you just read this stuff and regurgitate numbers. You don't know how to use it. You don't know the context in which it was made, and you just miseducating a whole bunch of black men. That's all you really doing. And that's why a lot of these guys like Elwood Anderson and the Green Gorilla and all even Tia Son, all these guys be over there saying all this dumbass shit. They get that shit from him. Like for real, a lot of these guys, man, you'd be surprised the guys that have grew up, spent all this time listening to BGS Ilmore. As if this Negro like a fucking a prophet from God or some shit. What the fuck wrong with y'all, man? Nigga, like, I'm serious. That's how they treat him.
He the daddy. He is the father. Okay, he is the elder of whatever that is. The
nigga 60 plus years old, man. He got kicked out of MGTOW because of racism. He don't never want to tell that story.
Actually, it's a lot of things that the black men, if they're part of those movements, they get kicked out. It's really what really is they were talking about black women on their side and they didn't want to hear it.
Exactly.
So
yeah, they got kicked out of those groups. You formed Black MGTOW, you formed Ipmore, then came the Manosphere. Remnants of that came, because a lot of these Negroes was like, I ain't walking away from women. I still want to have sex with them. I just don't like their ways. I just want this and I want that. And so that sprung the Manosphere. The Manosphere is basically Negroes that said, I ain't trying to walk away from black women. I just want them to do what I say.
Well, actually, let's be honest. We gotta be raw. I can't walk away from black pussy.
Hell no, that's crazy. That's the most insane shit.
Can't get away from black pussy? Oh shit.
That is some of the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. They had niggas talking about, man. I remember I was on O'Shea panel about, this was back in 17 or 18. Had niggas up there talking about I'd rather have sex with a sex doll than a black woman. Okay. I'm sitting on the Sunday Rumble arguing with niggas for 4 hours about a sex doll.
Shit.
Serious. Niggas was really saying this. They had a dude up there talking about he got a divorce twice and lost all kind of money, but I'm safe with this sex doll. This sex doll is better than a. Then you had fools. Then you had these dumbass fools like Mr. Fantastic and Ramil and all these other motherfuckers coming up there trying to take up for the man while I'm telling him something is mentally ill wrong, which he really something was wrong with him. He had some issues, and come to find out he did have some mental issues. But that's the kind of Negroes we was dealing with. I mean, I got tired of having those conversations. Not about to subjugate myself to that dumbass shit. Up there talking about a goddamn, and then they had like a fucking Asian doll or some shit, whatever the fuck that was. He had sitting there. Then he had the doll sitting in the background talking about, I do everything with my dog. The fuck wrong with you, man? I do everything with my dog. She's deaf. I said, motherfucker, she can't even kiss you or touch you back. What the fuck you talking about? Crazy shit, man.
Insane. These people is insane, and I'm sure it's the same level of foolishness over there with the divestment and the
divestment, even though I'm gonna say this, the manosphere say a lot of crazy shit. Them divestors are nasty, it's cruel. Them motherfuckers talk about the children, the little BB head children, and all that. They talk about the kids. They talk about, man, they nasty. I ain't gonna lie.
You know the divestors, they talk a lot bad about sometimes of the kids. You know?
Yeah, they talk about the kids, man. They wrong for that. If they could just keep it to the men, okay. But when you start talking about the children, I'm like, God damn, I had to I can't fuck with that.
But D-Darrell, where you think it's gonna end up? Don't they carry babies? So if you're talking about the opposite sex, what's the next result? You're gonna be talking about what comes out your womb. It's we gotta get rid of this. Yeah.
They're going to end up being labeled a hate group, just like the manosphere was labeled.
Oh, no, they are. But the reason why they're not going at them yet, because they look at the severity first. Because remember, they got prisons for people, right? And we know what's growing right now in a certain prison population. We know they already got the men locked. They're going to lock them up all day, every day. But now I hear the women are in the rise of them start.
Yeah, women have been in a rise as far as prison population for the last 5-10 years. It's been a huge increase. And see, a lot of that is also heavily influenced by the CPS, the Family Protective Service, Child Protective Services and stuff.
So they're being abusive.
There's a direct correlation with that. A lot of that comes from abuse and different things like that of children. They're being charged with different crimes that cause them to be incarcerated. So, well, guys, I'm about to go ahead and wrap this baby up because we're almost at the 2-hour mark. So, any last words from anybody?
Thanks for having me up, and Happy New Year.
Same to you, Queen. What's
Y'all
up,
have
Chaos?
good evening.
You too, baby.
Damn, man, D-Darrell. I hope you do some more content on this. But like I said, bro, I know you're watching, and just be mindful if you come up on certain panels, man, because you hear the conversation, the rhetoric from the men and from the ladies, unfortunately. I expect the men, because the men, they're going to have a certain peripheral when they open their fucking mouths. But when I find that, when the women start, it baffles me personally.
Right.
You get me? I mean, just like you told me before about one of them and how they don't like how the men are. So it makes me think, are you in a relationship with a man healthily? You get me? Right. Because I don't go up my way and then go in every day.
Right.
I can't do it. I mean, but like I said, most people, if it gets to that point, so a lot of women or men that listen to content from opposite sex, if it does get to that point, the best thing, like everything, you discontinue watching their content. I started watching certain female content creators last year, and I don't want to, but after I came to the system, I think this is as far as they're going to get, and they're going to take their content to more debauchery.
Right.
Now, for the men, I'm not there yet, but like I said, for years now, the conversation is getting stagnant.
Yeah, it is. Right.
And eventually, I might soon tune out of them too, unfortunately. So,
right.
So that's it. That is
all right. All right, brother. Appreciate you for coming in, man. You have a good day.
Mm-hmm. Good.
All right.
Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Chatting with me. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Dumb bitch asses. Fuck the DBA. To the ladies in the sector, shake that ass, 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 shake that ass. To them ladies in the sector, shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass, and just shake it real fast. Bitch ass nigga named Alan Logic. Yeah, we know you LGBT in the closet. Yeah, motherfucker, yeah, we say it to your face. Motherfucker can't even keep a care of me. Woo, bitch
Come
ass
on, come
nigga
on.
named Alan Logic. Yeah, we know you LGBT in the closet. Yeah, motherfucker, yeah, we say it to your face. Motherfucker can't even keep a care of me. Woo. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Chat, sing with me. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Dumb bitch asses. Fuck the DBA. To the ladies in the sector, shake that ass, 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 shake that ass. To the ladies in the sector, shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass, and just shake it real fast. Pissy ass nigga named KIP. Crying ass nigga named motherfucking P. You see him on the panel, yeah, they talking about me. Yeah, you see him in the sector, yeah, they talking about D. Pussy ass nigga, silly ass nigga, old ass worn out dumb ass nigga. You see him all around in the motherfucking sector. They mad that they can't be the Godfather. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Chat, sing with me. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Fuck the DBA. Dumb bitch asses. Fuck the DBA.
Peace, everybody. Have a happy new year. Peace.